Hello, everyone, and welcome to Observations from the Fence Post. I'm your host, Robert, and this is a comic book review of the comic book series Clear, issue number 1. This comic book series is published by Dark Horse Comics. It's written by the great Scott Snyder, and art and colors are handled by Francis Manapul. What brought me to this series was the name Scott Snyder. He's one of my favorite writers. I've been reading his work for over a decade. I remember the first series I came into contact with Mr. Snyder was a series called American Vampire, and I've been following him ever since. So Clear is a science fiction tale that takes place on Earth in the year 2052. Okay, it begins with a suicide off a bridge. Okay, we then meet this person here who's Detective Sam Dunes. He is a private detective, which gives this a detective feel, just like kind of say like something like the Maltese Falcon. That sort of stuff. So we have a science fiction story and a detective story here. And he is a private investigator, and he investigates these cases affiliated with this thing called veils. Now, you have to understand what's happening in the society now. There is still the internet, but now you can directly hook yourself into the internet. Okay. So you can hook your brain through a connection directly into the internet. Now, you can then buy these programs called veils, which allow you to see the world in different ways. So you can see it as if you're living in the 80s, as if you're living in the 90s, or you can even go back to like Old West or some sort of nature thing. Any way you want to see the world, these veils will allow you to see the world as you so fit for a price. And so what Detective Nunes does is he investigates cases that may involve black market veils. So that's kind of the setup here, but pretty soon he gets wrapped up in a very interesting case as the story goes along. It's a very detailed story with some strong art. This is a policeman friend of his that pulls him deeper into the story. Here is one of his clients that hired him to investigate her husband, who was buying black market veils. Anyway, certain people are known as clear because they don't like to use veils to see the world. They like to see the world more realistically. But because they are linked to the internet, they even have to pay for that. And this type of stuff is apparently up to 70% of the economy, the veil market. So this is pretty big deal in the year 2052. Now, I love how this is told in parts. And see, we have a change in art style when we change parts even. This sets up the historical events that lead to the veils at this point. So this is kind of like a flashback. But then it does get back to the modern telling of the story, which is pretty cool. Here we are back in modern times, or the present day. And in his investigation of a case that he has been brought into with his policeman friend. So that is kind of clear in a nutshell. I think it's one of the strongest comics I've read in 2023. I know it's still early in the year. I'm very pleased with this comic. Part of that is I'm very pleased with Scott Snyder's work, but I'm also liking the variety of art. that is seen in this comic book, and how it changes, and there's some different styles. I also like the fact that even though this is science fiction, you could even call this speculative fiction. I'm sure they're working on implants that maybe we could eventually connect to some sort of internet directly with our brain. I don't know if that's the right way to go about it, but certainly if there is a way to make money off of technology like that, I'm sure it will be researched. And you think we're addicted now. What we certainly learn in Clear is, wow, there's a lot of people that just don't know how to live life without the veils. So very interesting. I'm really looking forward to where this goes. I have no idea where it goes. I don't really want to tell you details on mystery because the little clues that are revealed are very interesting. It does tie into the suicide that we see in the beginning, so I can tell you that much, but I really don't want to ruin anything because that's part of the joy of reading this story, is just hearing or reading the different aspects and angles of the story. So this is a high recommend. I mean, this is one that I would rate a 5-star out of 5. I mean, it's that good. So I highly recommend Clear. I look forward to more issues of this. Scott Snyder has, again, not let me down. So I'm real pleased that 2 new series I picked up have had really good starts. I'm really liking this one, Clear, and I'm really liking another one that I covered in another video called Phantom Road. So I'm been real happy with a couple of these independent new series that I've picked up. So anyway, highly recommend Clear. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this review. If you like what you heard, please hit like and subscribe. It's kind of the modern day drill of this type of stuff. And thank you again. And remember, as I end all my videos with, keep it between the ditches and peace.